Welcome to Police Files, where we show cases of police misconduct, talk about legal rights, and hold authorities accountable. This episode features Yardley Ski Auditing. Check the link below and support his channel. In this video, Yardley Ski is filming outside Folkestone Police Station as part of a routine audit when an inspector comes out and wrongly claims he is on private property. There are no clear signs or restrictions, but Yardley still steps back onto public land and continues filming. Soon after, two poorly trained officers arrive and try to force him to leave using weak excuses instead of real legal reasons. Yardley stands his ground and defends his rights, but he is unlawfully arrested. In the end, HNK solicitors take the case, Yardley wins a large payout, and once again the public pays the price for police mistakes.
So you are?
I'm Inspector Creed. I'm perfectly happy with you filming. No
Fine.
problem with you filming whatsoever.
Cool.
It's just the fact that you're on the police premises here.
Yeah,
and
but
we do ask the public to remain on the public
there's no
area.
signage. There's no signage. There's nothing blocking me
Well, you've
from
just
stopping me from walking round.
Well, there is a barrier there.
Yeah, that's for
and there's
cars.
a fence there.
That's the cars. I didn't jump over anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
Yeah, you can stop abusing my rights and let me film. That's what you said.
I'm not stopping you filming.
Okay then.
No
well,
problem with you filming
Well, I
at
can
all.
film in the car park. There's nothing stopping me from filming in the car park.
As part of our insurance reasons, as well as the security of the site, we don't allow members of the public on here. So that's why I'm asking you to leave and move out onto the public area. You can either go out here, or you can go onto the public access area there. It's entirely up to you.
The inspector's first move is to accuse Yardley of being on private police property, but Yardley quickly shows how weak that claim is. He points out that there are no signs, no warnings, and nothing to show the area is restricted. Under the law, if the public isn't clearly told that a place is private, they can't be treated as trespassing. Access rules must be clear, not based on assumptions. When the inspector tries to rely on the presence of a barrier, Yardley explains that it's only for cars, not pedestrians, and he didn't climb over anything to enter. That's important, because simply walking into an open, unmarked area is lawful. Trespass only applies when someone knowingly enters a restricted space. In this case, the inspector had no evidence to support his claim. Yardley then moves behind the gate to the area the inspector said was fine for filming, but that's when two aggressive officers approach him.
Job first.
Well, I'm doing my job.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Step away, go away, get lost. I'm not listening to you. Do not talk to me. Listen, stop talking to me. No, I'm not going to listen to you. And if you touch me, right, that's going to be an assault as well. So just, look, you've got your hands up. You've got your hands up. Right, so excuse out of my way, please. Excuse out of my way. Excuse out of my way.
You can film.
Oh, listen to me. Please get out of my way. Please get out of my way. Get out of my way. Let me
The Chief
pass.
Constable holds the right to restrict your access, okay? You're more than welcome to film on the public bits, but we can't have you filming by the gate, obviously, because it's got a keypad, okay, which is a private
I'm not listening to you what you're saying. You're just
Well, you
talking. No, I'm not. You're talking to yourself, and I'm going forward.
listen,
And I'm going forward. Do not listen. You're standing right in front of me.
I am saying right,
Right.
I'm not
So
gonna
I'm.
do that.
Why not?
Because it's an implied right of access.
No,
We have the
listen.
right
I've
to
got
remove
I've got a right of
you.
access. I've been told. Okay,
No,
by an
yeah, you
inspector. By an inspector.
And this right of
Okay.
access is now being revoked.
No, we'll go and get an inspector to revoke it because I've been told
We're
that I've
asking
been
you to
told
move
by
on
an
to-
inspector that I
don't
can
need
film
an
here.
inspector. I don't need an
No,
inspector
well,
to
I've been told that I can film here.
What I am happy
I've
to
been
do,
told. No. Listen.
told you
I've-
what's upsetting you.
Nothing. Well, you're upsetting me because you're not doing your job. He just went and threatened me.
right, but the reason I hear...
No. He just went and threatened me.
The officers then try to push Yardley away from the gate, even though he is clearly standing on public land. One officer wrongly claims that implied right of access allows them to remove him, which is not true. Implied access only applies when a member of the public enters private property for a normal reason, like walking up to someone's front door. It does not apply to someone standing on public land, so they had no legal power to move him. Yardley reminds them that the inspector had already said he could stand there, which should have ended the issue. Instead, the officer makes things worse by claiming that this right has now been revoked. Only the landowner or someone with proper authority can revoke access, and in this case, Yardley wasn't even on private property. When the officer then says he doesn't need an inspector's permission, it only shows how confused and careless his actions really were.
He just went and threatened me. So you're telling me somebody can threaten you anywhere, but all you're worrying about is me not filming in a place of...
At the moment, yes.
Yeah. Why?
Correct.
Who started the initial crime? Who initially evokes a crime?
At the moment, I'm here because you're here.
No.
Filming in a place you're
Well, you
not allowed
shouldn't
to
be.
film.
You should be after that guy first because he's getting away. Who is he?
At the moment,
Who's that bloke?
I don't know.
Why don't you know that?
Because I don't work with him.
So how are you going to find him?
Well, we've got CCTV. I'll identify.
Okay.
That, okay.
Oh, yeah,
What I'm more concerned about at the moment.
No, I'm not going nowhere. I've been
that
told
you
that I can
can't
film it. I can.
You can, but you
I can
can't
film it.
here.
I can film it. No, and I'm telling you that I've been told by an inspector that I can film here.
inspector was it?
Okay, Inspector Creed. Okay, now off you go because this is what he said. Okay, I can film here. So unless another inspector comes down and wants to tell me that, no, I'm not going to take it from
I
you.
have the right to
No.
tell you can't film.
No, you're not going to supersede the inspector because he told me that I can film here.
From
All
my
right?
sergeant and from my inspector.
No.
I've been told
Which inspector?
inside.
Who's the inspector?
Inspector Cutter.
Okay, where's Inspector Cutter?
He's in the building.
Okay, we'll go and get Inspector Cutter to
Not
come
at
out
the
and tell me.
moment, because I'm asking you.
No, and I'm politely
Politely.
refusing, and I'm
Politely.
declining because I've
Politely.
already been told by Inspector Creed that I can film here. So
And we have.
I don't believe
we
you.
have the right
I don't believe
to
you.
Overrule that.
I don't believe you.
This exchange shows how far the officers were willing to twist the truth. Yardley keeps reminding them that an inspector had already said he could film from that spot, which should have settled the matter. Instead, one officer claims that a different inspector said he couldn't film, but refuses to bring that person out when asked. When Yardley again mentions that Inspector Creed confirmed he was allowed, the officer responds by saying they can overrule that. That makes no sense. A constable cannot overrule an inspector, and the chain of command doesn't work like that. More importantly, the law doesn't change based on an officer's opinion. Filming in public is legal, and no officer, regardless of rank, has the power to change that.
Anyway, do you know something? You're trying to talk, right? And I've already told you. No. It's not that you're making sense or not. I've already told you that I'm not allowing you to talk simply because I want you to do something which you haven't done. So therefore, by you carrying on with your waffle, right, I'm giving you that opportunity to talk. But I'm not going to give you that opportunity to talk, so I'm going to stop you right there. When an inspector comes out, yeah, then he can tell me that. I'll tell him that what Inspector Creed says. We'll have that discussion there. Because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I have been given, right, the right to film here. And no, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm telling you, right? I've just told you.
Why let's have a conversation?
Don't worry about it, all
I
right?
don't understand why you're being.
Because I want you to go and sort out this first thing. You're not doing it. You're not doing your job. You're standing there, wasting time, my time, your time, everybody's time.
What I don't.
Right?
What's the reason for filming here? That's what I know that you can, but what's the reason?
Well, it'd be a bit hard to draw stuff, so I've got my camera out.
In the body cam footage, the same two officers come back to Yardley and start threatening him, saying they will arrest him if he refuses to leave, even though he is still standing on
So
public
what
land.
I'm saying to you, okay, all we need to know, or what we're happy with you doing, is filming obviously outside of the more public areas. That's absolutely fine. Don't stop you doing that, okay? All we ask that under Section 68 of the Criminal Justice Public Order Act 1994, okay, is not to film.
Are you detaining me?
Not at the moment.
Are you giving me a caution? Stop telling me to listen.
I'm giving you a warning.
Stop. No. Are you cautioning me?
I'm not cautioning you.
Well then, I don't want to hear no section, nothing. Am I doing anything wrong?
It's just
Am I doing anything wrong?
Yes,
No.
it's just a
Am I doing anything wrong?
When you were
Am I
filming-
doing anything
filming
wrong?
registration plates are doing something wrong.
Listen. Don't tell me that I was filming registrations plates, okay? Get some concrete evidence and then come and start telling me all these things. Otherwise,
I'd never said
go
anything.
away. You keep on. You just did.
I'm telling you, under that section.
Under what section? A section what? Doing what?
Is if you begin to start filming registration plates, keypads, people coming in and out of the building, it's obstructing the day-to-day business.
No,
of the police.
it's not. I'm not
Okay?
obstructing
We can
anybody,
then
and I
arrest
can
you.
stand in. Oh, get lost.
Yeah,
Do you know
we can
something?
arrest you.
I can stand in a public place and I can film whatever I want.
Yeah. And we can arrest you for aggravating trespass. Okay?
You can't.
Yes, we can.
Get lost. You can't.
Yeah, we can, and we will do if you carry on.
Section 68 makes it an offense to trespass on private land with the intention of disrupting or obstructing lawful activity. That clearly didn't apply to Yardley. He was standing on public land, filming quietly, and not blocking or interfering with anyone. Filming vehicle registration plates is not illegal, they are displayed publicly by law. Suggesting that Section 68 applied in this situation shows a serious misunderstanding of the law. Instead of backing down, the officers pushed further. When Yardley went inside to file a complaint, just 5 minutes later the same two officers followed him in and arrested him under Section 68.
Do these questions relevant? Oh, just
curious, so I know how to treat you, what your experience is and what you may or may not know.
I'm not somebody who gets myself into trouble.
Okay, no, that's fine. Right, well, long story short, I'm a classic sergeant, so it's my job to look after you here and ensure you're dealt with fairly as well.
Okay.
To that end, I'm going to ask obviously a few questions to find out why you're here, and I've got some questions for you, see how you're doing physically and mentally.
Okay.
Bearing in mind when I ask the officers about why you're here, that is them explaining why they've done what they've done. That's not an allegation to you for you to sort of necessarily reply to, okay? Because otherwise we'll end up in a conversation, I suspect.
Yardley's arrest under Section 68 didn't just get dismissed, it ended up costing the police force thousands. Yardley himself received £1,500 in compensation, but the total cost was far higher. There were over £2,000 in legal and court fees, plus nearly £5,000 in additional expenses, bringing the total close to £10,000 with VAT included. And who pays for all of that? Not the officers who misused their powers or carried out the unlawful arrest, but the taxpayer. The public ends up covering the cost of mistakes that could have easily been avoided. That's what makes it worse. This entire situation didn't need to happen. If the officers had followed the law instead of acting on ego, there would have been no case, no payout, and no wasted public money. Instead, they pushed forward with an arrest that had no legal basis, and when it reached court, it fell apart. The force had little choice but to settle because defending it would have cost even more. This is what happens when authority is treated as more important than the law. Eventually, the law catches up. Yardley was not trespassing, he was standing on public land, filming peacefully, and not bothering anyone. On top of that, trespass itself is usually a civil matter, not a criminal offense. For aggravated trespass under Section 68 to apply, there first has to be actual trespass, which the officers could not prove because it never happened. The legal position is clear: if someone is not trespassing, Section 68 cannot apply. The law requires evidence, not opinion, and in this case, there was none. Yardley wasn't obstructing, intimidating, or interfering with anything. The officers simply tried to force a law to fit a situation where it didn't belong, and the court saw straight through it. In this episode, Yardley was standing on public land doing something completely lawful. Instead of accepting that, the officers tried to treat his presence as illegal without any proper legal basis. That's more than just a mistake, it shows a worrying tendency to treat personal discomfort as if it were law. The misuse of Section 68 was the biggest failure. Aggravated trespass is meant for situations where someone is deliberately disrupting lawful activity on private land, which clearly didn't apply here. Using that law in this situation wasn't about maintaining order, it was an attempt to criminalize behavior that wasn't a crime at all, showing a serious lack of understanding and judgment. The arrest itself revealed even more. Yardley went back inside to make a complaint, something he had every right to do, and within minutes the same officers arrested him. Nothing had changed in that short time, no offense had been committed. The only difference was that he challenged them. That strongly suggests the arrest was retaliatory rather than lawful, which undermines any claim that they were acting to keep the peace. The financial outcome makes the situation even worse. The force had to settle, paying Yardley compensation along with thousands in legal costs. Once again, it wasn't the officers who faced the consequences, it was the public. Taxpayers ended up covering the cost of poor decisions and unlawful actions, money that could have been used for real policing. What this case really shows is how quickly things fall apart when officers rely on emotion instead of procedure. Throughout the encounter, Yardley remained calm, clear, and within the law, while the officers made repeated errors that led to an unlawful arrest. In the end, Yardley didn't just win in court, he showed that when officers overstep their powers, it's the public who ultimately pays for it. That's it for today's video. If you found this episode useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps support independent content like this. Also, be sure to check out Yardley Ski's channel, linked in the description, and show your support. Thanks for watching.